My name's Heather Henry. I'm a nurse that invents things with local people, and I live at Waterside in Sale. And I'm here to ask Sale Town Centre, the country's first child asthma friendly town. Well, how would we do this? Well, we would set up, a bit like the Dementia Champions and the Dementia Friends model, a number of events, learning events, where children, families, communities, brownies, librarians, members of the Lions Club, anybody who knows me would come along to hear a children's story. And to help me, I have invited along the big bad wolf, who unfortunately has developed asthma, and of course 3 little pigs. And the big bad wolf, he needs help now to blow the piggy's house down, doesn't he? And so he needs to know whether at various stages in the story he needs a blue inhaler, which relieves asthma, or a brown inhaler, could be pink, sometimes purple, that prevents asthma, and to use it correctly through a spacer device, one like this. And at the end of the story, you know that he can't blow down the house of bricks, so where he climbs down the chimney, doesn't he, and the little pigs light a fire, and unfortunately he gets a lungful of smoke and he has an acute asthma attack. Oh no! And the children have to know how to recognise an attack. They have to recognise what to do, who to call, and how many puffs of which inhaler he needs before the ambulance arrives. Now, all that takes about 20 minutes, with about 10 minutes for questions. And at the end of that, people would get a little badge. I've called my programme Breath Champs, so we could all be breath champs and support each other, because I'm that child with asthma, and it had a major effect on my life. And what I've discovered is that children today still have really bad asthma despite all the advances in treatment. And I want to try to help children and families and whole communities to understand the real basics of asthma, because still lots of children and adults don't understand what the inhalers do, why it's important to take a brown inhaler twice a day, every day, even when you're well, twice a day, every day, even when you're well, and how to recognise when asthma's getting worse and what to do about it. So I think it takes a whole community to raise a child, and especially a child with asthma. And I think Sale is the place. I've not worked here for a while, I'm afraid. Salford's kept me pretty busy, and I have tested all of this in Salford. If it works in Salford, it'll definitely work in Sale Town Centre. So to see whether we can train everybody, anybody, anybody on the street, so that they can help children, and children can help each other too. So I'm looking for you to come to my sessions to be trained up. If you'd like to be trained how to tell the story without me, because the education is at the level of a good parent, that's all, nothing fancy, don't do fancy, then that would be really great, and that would enable us to tell more people. I'm aiming for about 2,000 to 3,000 people in Sale to be trained up. That would be helped along by doing assemblies when schools restart in the autumn, because they're about 300 children at a time and 10 teachers. I've been doing that an awful lot, and they will remember what I tell them, because I'm using a very familiar story. So what I'm planning to do is to ask the CCG, the NHS, if they will measure the difference in terms of A&E attendance rates, hospital admissions. I'm thinking that this would be people-powered asthma education.